Imagine this, you're planning an event, a wedding, a corporate conference, and you're knee-deep in a 10-page Microsoft Word document.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Sound familiar? Well, what if I told you that there is a better way? One that saves you hours of frustration, has some automatic processes built in, and makes you look like a professional. For the last 14 years, I have helped plan, produce, host, DJ, all kinds of events all over the continental US. So I spent the last year of my life building this event software, which we're going to compare to Microsoft Word in this video. So let's dive in and see which one is better for planning events. Now, don't get me wrong, Microsoft Word is a great tool for writing an essay or writing Shakespeare or for writing a book. But when it comes to event planning, it's going to cause some problems. Here's some of the key challenges that Microsoft Word is going to present to you if you use it for planning an event. Number one is Microsoft Word will not make automatic adjustments for you either in the budgeting phase or in the timeline phase. So let's imagine that you have a timeline that you're writing for your corporate conference. You're saying that you have 3 hours of setup time, and then you have a 30-minute welcome, and then you have a 60-minute session number one. Well, what happens if you all of a sudden decide that you don't need 30 minutes for the welcome, you only need 15 minutes? Then everything that falls after your welcome, you have to go in and manually calculate what is the start time, what is the end time, and it is a cascading effect that Microsoft Word will not do for you. You have to do it yourself. Challenge number two is Microsoft Word is not a budgeting tool. It doesn't have any budgeting functions built into it. Yes, you can add a table, and yes, you can add a dollar sign to things, but that does not mean that it's automatically going to change anything or calculate anything for you. Even if you have to open up an Excel, which presents another problem because it's not in your main document, if you open up Excel, you still have to make sure that you don't either delete the calculations or you have to make sure that you have the right formulas to make sure that everything is adding up. Number three is Microsoft Word does not exactly have the best collaboration features. Sure, you can save it in a Dropbox, but then you get into, wait, who is opening it? Are you changing it or am I changing it? Instead, what usually happens is people will open up Word, they will save it to their computer as version 1 of the timeline, they'll email it to someone, that person will change a couple of things, save it as version 2, and then they'll email it back. Pretty soon, before you know it, you're on version 15 and you're not sure if there is a version 16 and who has it.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
And the fourth big challenge that it presents is Microsoft Word is not built as a place to collect vendor quotes. And if you're planning a wedding or if you're planning a corporate conference or something where you're bringing in vendors like audio and visual vendors, photographers, videographers, social media people, graphics people, decorators, catering, venue. You have all of these different vendors. But not only that, if you're shopping around, you're collecting all of these different quotes. Where do they go? Are you going to save them in a Microsoft Word document? They're going to send you an invoice and you're going to save that in there? No chance. Microsoft Word is like bringing a typewriter to plan your event. It just doesn't make sense. By now, you've probably reached the conclusion, like I have, is that there's a better solution out there. Well, after scouring the internet, I couldn't find one, which is why I built Event Builder. And if you've stuck around this long in the video, you're probably like me. You searched high and low for the right event planning tool, and you still haven't found what you're looking for.
But I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
So let's take a look at the software that I spent the last year of my life building based upon 14 years of experience and one that I am constantly using and updating to make events better. Number one is Event Builder has a built-in timeline tool that will make automatic adjustments whenever you change something in your timeline. If your welcome changes from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, you simply change the length of the welcome and it changes all of the start time and the end times for you, automatically calculating them based upon the rest of your event. A friend of mine who runs a successful marketing company said, hey, I would love a built-in tool so that my team always knows when we are profitable for our events. So the built-in budgeting tool allows you to track expenses by creating expense categories and then logging transactions. And not only that, you can also add in your revenue. So whether that's your overall budget or whether you are tracking how many sales you've made from tickets and how many sponsorships you've had. Now with Microsoft Word, you already heard that it's not exactly built for collaboration. You've got to save version 1 and email it and get back version number 2. With Event Builder, you don't have to do that. With a simple click of a button, if you're on a Plus or a Pro account, you can send an email invitation so that someone can log in and they can make changes with you. No more digging through your email, no more digging through your saved files to make sure that you have the most up-to-date version. It's all right there in Event Builder. And number 4, because you are logging all of this information, you automatically get a public page, which you can send to someone like a vendor where they can submit a quote, or with a click of a button, you can log a quote and keep track of all of the information that you need to pick the right vendor. So if we compare the two side by side, you'll see that Microsoft Word is a great tool, but maybe it's not the best for event planning. And sure, it's got some templates, but let's be real, a template is not going to overcome all of these challenges. Oh, and did I mention that on a Plus or a Pro account, you can even save your own templates? So if you're planning your events using Microsoft Word, you're definitely making life harder than it needs to be. If you want to see more of what Event Builder can do, be sure to check out this 15-minute video that I created going through all the different features that Event Builder has. Or maybe you've already made your decision, you can go to eventbuilderpro.com and create a free account, no credit card required.